Okay, the holidays feel far away until they're not. And if you wait until November to market your offers, or even worse, start planning them, then you are going to find yourself far behind. Have you ever noticed that like holiday stuff in the stores shows up months before the holiday? That did not happen by accident. That was thanks to a lot of advanced planning. So let's break down what you should be doing right now to make your Q4 way less chaotic and way more profitable. I'm Janae.
And I'm Brooke, and this is the Big Bad Marketing Podcast. We are two women running a marketing agency who know what it's like to build a business from the ground up. This is not a podcast about how to scale to 1,000 employees or where you'll find advice from billion-dollar founders who are light years ahead of where you're at. This show is for real small business owners. It's for the financial planner, the leadership coach, the HVAC technician, the artist, the ones with small budgets, busy lives, and big dreams to build a real sustainable business that actually supports their lifestyle.
If you want to DIY your small business marketing on a budget, you're in the right place. Let's
Let's do
do this.
this.
Okay, so I don't think this is a hot take, but I want to frame it as one because hot takes are fun. Hot take: September is the secret weapon for your holiday planning for your small business marketing.
Tell me
So,
more.
yeah. Okay, so my dad called me. It's August right now. So last month in July, he calls me and sends me a picture of like a pumpkin, an illuminated pumpkin display in Costco. And just quick shout out, Costco, we love you. Sponsor us. But he sends me this picture of like Halloween decor basically from inside Costco. And he goes, you think it's a bit early for Halloween products and decorations on sale? Which, like, he was joking, and I get it from like a human perspective. But also, no, absolutely not. It is not too early to be marketing for Halloween in July. In fact, I would venture to guess that they have done, the mysterious they, so much research to determine when are the best moments to start placing products for seasonal upcoming events, special times of year, whatever, in the stores. And maybe the zoomed out point is like, that is the perfect time aside from all that research because your consumer needs time to make the purchase and put it to use. And if you zoom out even further, they need time to think about it. So this whole episode is all about helping you figure out when is the best time to start planning your marketing efforts, your promotions, whatever it is you're going to be selling in this particular episode. We're talking about Q4, like December and November holidays. But also, I think there's a blanket here of like this applies to any seasonal thing that you're going to be doing. You got to plan in advance. Tell us
Yeah.
why, Brooke.
So before we dive into the why, I do want to say this is one where I feel personally conflicted because the business owner marketer side of my brain says, yes, you need to start planning early, do things early. But the consumer side of me, it drives me nuts when I walk into a Costco in the middle of the summer and I see like Christmas stuff, I see Halloween things because I'm like, stop rushing me through my life. Like, just let me go to the beach in my bathing suit. It's 90 degrees outside. I don't need a pumpkin yet. I'm not ready for the pumpkin spice latte in August. Wait until September. So I think from a consumer frame of mind, I'm just like, stop rushing me through my life. But with my marketer hat on, I am like, yes, you do need to be doing this. And maybe you don't need to have the products out as early. And what we're going to talk about in this episode is it's more about the planning and it's more about the understanding where you're going and creating your framework for holiday planning so that you have everything in place so that the time you're ready to market the thing, everything is there for you. And the reality is that most businesses wait way too long to prep, and September sort of becomes this like unfair advantage. If you can get your ducks in a row, then you're no longer the one scrambling at the last minute to come up with the promotion and then all the pieces that go with it. Because that's the reality of marketing is it's an idea that has to turn into collateral, creative, physical things, digital things, captions, all of the other things that go with actually launching a marketing campaign. So you will end up with more comprehensive, more creative, and all around better holiday promotions if you start now, which, end goal, more sales, right?
Money.
Money.
Yeah. Okay. Brooke, I want to just agree with you really hard. I want to respectfully agree with you. Is as a consumer, it gives me what the young people today call the ick
Yes.
of like, it's July and I don't want to see a Halloween pumpkin. I don't want to think about pumpkin spice lattes, like none of that. I actually never want to think about pumpkin spice lattes. That's my unpopular opinion. Not a
Oh,
fan.
girl, respectfully disagree.
Okay. Okay. But it does give me the ick. And like even in December, I'm running into a store to get something as a gift for Christmas, let's say. And there's already Valentine's Day stuff in the store. And I want to acknowledge like I also feel ick about that and the consumeristic, just sheep like feeling that that gives me. And it makes me feel like these places only want me for my money, and they do, and that's the point. And I want to acknowledge, like, as small business owners, our values, like you and I and big bad marketing, it's not so much about like, let's get all the money we can squeeze out of these people, which maybe some big box stores have a little bit more of that mentality, and that's neither here nor there. But we are not suggesting that you do this to create that ick feeling or to get the products, just like you said. Like, this isn't about putting it in the faces of people in July while they're going to the beach. It's helping you be prepared so that at the right moment, which, you will decide what the right moment to start promoting these things is, but you are ready and you're not just sitting there on the day before Black Friday, like, oh, I should do a Black Friday deal.
Yeah, totally agree with all of that. And I think, too, one of the things we're going to talk about later in this episode is teasers, because once you already have everything laid out, you might not be ready to send your Black Friday promotion until early-ish November, which is great. But that doesn't mean you can't start teasing it in October because in September, you've already decided what it is and you have all the things in place. So, Janae, what are the things that someone, the small business owner, needs to consider right now to sort of wrap their heads around what does it mean to plan for my holiday marketing?
Yeah. So I think there's four big buckets here. And I'll name the four and then we can go into a little more detail. But that's going to be defining what your offers or your promotions are. Without that, how are you going to make any of the other stuff? Right. And then timing, your capacity, and then all of the marketing support and collateral. So let's start with offers and promos. As you in September, before the holidays, whatever, are starting to think about the offers and the promotions, you have to know what you are selling and what you are not selling. And then create those packages or the special deals, if there are going to be some, that you want to start pushing when the time is right.
Yep. So these are gift cards, discounts, packages, bundles. These are anything that you could think of that is going to entice and encourage someone to buy from you. And be sure that whatever promotions or offers you decide on, that you have math in mind. And we should link to our episode about business math. But if you think to yourself, oh, I'd love to run a 20% discount on my merchandise, take it back to the drawing board and make sure that the maths and that you're still going to profit if you apply a 20% discount. Same thing goes for bundling things together. You can create a lot of value in a bundle, especially if you're a service-based business like ours, but be sure that it is not going to totally drain you financially to execute on the bundle. So go in with open eyes. What we like to do for the offers and promotions, make a list of all your ideas. If you have a business partner, if you have a team or a trusted, person that you run business ideas by, have them review the list too, and then go back and pick maybe the one or two that make the most sense, and then take the next step with just those one or two. You don't have to do everything.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Don't do everything. In fact, do not do that. Keep the main thing the main thing.
Ah, who says that?
Okay. Next one is timing. So this is a lot of another one of our favorite activities, reverse engineering or reverse time planning. So once you have figured out what you're selling, what you're not selling, you need to start mapping out things like shipping deadlines, booking availability. Is your calendar set up appropriately, like to if you do service coaching, something like that? Do you have your calendar set up so people would actually be able to book these things and reserve them? If you're hosting events in preparation for or in relationship to the promotions, you're going to need time to set those events up, organize all the dates and all of the details surrounding that. And then you'll be ordering potentially products or print materials like brochures or things to hand out at said event or to put into the bundle. So you need to build in the time to make sure that you have all of these ingredients ready to go when it is the time to start promoting, shipping, selling. And that's also going to include your digital marketing collateral. So that's getting the content you need for your social posts, for your newsletter. If you're going to run campaigns and um, like banners on a website, right? You're going to need to get all the footage for that and create that. And if you need to hire a graphic designer to do that, right? Or like you want to show the product next to a holiday scene like a snowman, you might want to get those photos ready so that when it is time to present them December 1 or whichever day you decide, right? You have all of that and you're not waiting around till you actually have the snowman built to take the picture.
So, what's the best way for the average small business owner to organize these types of things and to think backwards? What's your recommendation?
Okay, so I like to start with choose the day that you want to be selling the thing. You want to, if you're doing a bundle package of a physical product, what day are you going to hand someone the product, the basket of goodies, and then think back from then all of the ingredients that need to make their way into that basket. How long do you need to, if you're selling physical products too, how long do you need to order them, have them shipped, put them into the pack, right? All of these things. How long is your designer going to need to print the paperwork that's going to go in there or the informationals? And it's pretty much the same, I think, for a service industry is thinking backwards of how long are all of these digital pieces going to take to build? Do you need a landing page? Do you need a special listing on your shop for this item, right? So planning by reverse engineering.
Yeah. So I think dropping these in a spreadsheet might be a great option. You can also just put notes in your calendar and say, okay, we're going to launch this project on, December 1st. That's the date that we're trending towards. That means on November 15th, I need all of my emails to be prepped so that I can get them in and scheduled. And by November 1st, I need to have ordered everything that I need for the launch and just put these calendar reminders in and then respect them and do them and stay on track with them.
Yes. Plus, build in a little buffer, right? Because if
Totally.
you,
You
like
have the
us, have
time.
yes, that's the whole point of this. You have all the time you need right now. And if you're anything like us and your to-do list grows and grows and it grows teeth, like then now is the perfect time to put it in your calendar, give yourself some leeway so that when it comes and you're like, I just can't get to that today, it's fine. Push it. And I was going to say, you know what else, Brooke, would be a really good help is using an annual marketing calendar.
Oh, weird.
Past
Maybe,
iteration of, yeah, things that we've offered.
yeah. And we have, and we should link to this as well. On the blog post for the annual marketing calendar, the 2025 one is still live. We will soon update that for 2026. So you can start doing your planning for next year, which is probably coming up in the next month or two. So just to give you a little heads up on that. But yeah, go ahead and download the marketing calendar, put in your key dates, and just we are very visual, like pen and paper all the time kind
Mm-hmm.
of people. So if you are like us, print it out, plop it on your desk, and get after it.
Yeah, write it down. Get
Yep.
after it. Love
Get
it.
after it. Let's
And
go.
okay, if you are enjoying and you want more tactical, practical tips like how to get your marketing done in advance so you're right on time to make all the money you possibly can at the right moment while also being nice and kind and having good values, then sign up for our Big Bad Marketing newsletter at bigbadmarketing.com/newsletter. It is like holiday hot cocoa for your business, except it's useful all year round.
Yes, love it. You'll love the newsletter. It is full of good stuff and just actionable, fun, entertaining. So go sign up.
Good stuff, bad jokes.
Correct. If you want good jokes, don't sign up for the newsletter.
That is not the place. Okay, so we're in our list of considerations for you want to start doing your advanced marketing planning. How do you do it? We said offers and promotions. What are you selling? We said timing, work backwards, grab a spreadsheet. Next one is capacity. So this is thinking through whether or not you can actually handle more customers or orders. So if you're going to push and promote a product, make sure that you can actually deliver on that. And if you can't, as of today, as of when you make the plan, can you figure out how to build in more capacity? Do you need to hire someone? Do you need to like shift some numbers or whatever it is so that you have cash flow to help you purchase and order all of the things you're going to need, right? Can you scale up before you run the holiday promotion? And if so, how much can you handle? How much more than what you're already doing can you handle?
Yeah, that's a hugely important point is to think ahead to that capacity piece because the last thing you want to do is go out and sell 1,000 widgets and realize that you only have 50 on hand. And worse, the other 950 are not going to ship before the holidays. So luckily, most e-commerce platforms at this point allow you to define a maximum quantity. So as you get everything set up, just be sure that that number is aligned with what you actually have. And then similarly, if you're in a service business like us and you say, all right, we're really going to make this push and we are going to sell social media strategy. Okay, how many can we actually deliver? And because we're thinking about this in August, could we go ahead and hire a contractor or someone to help support us in our desire to sell more of those things? So again, that's the beauty of starting early is that you have options and you have the time to put things in place to access more space should you need it, to find a warehouse, to find another room to store things. There's so much flexibility in this only if you start now.
Yes. And if you are in a place where you're trying to figure this out and like us, you're like, I don't actually have time now. I'm juggling already 37 things, trying to bring in new clients, trying to satisfy my existing clients, trying to build lead generation forms, like all of this stuff. Okay, A, those are all good problems to have. But B, you are still in a much better position now, being like, I don't have time for all that, and starting to think about it and getting even the little bit that you can move forward versus waiting until, December 10 to be like, oh, I should probably start thinking about this. So if you feel like you don't have time, which is a business owner ongoing problem, like this is still worth being aware of and thinking about and making time for.
Yeah, agreed. And then if you don't have enough capacity, I think that dovetails right into number four, which is marketing support. Are you going to need someone else to help you in creating these holiday promotions? Do you have time to batch content now? Do you have time to, say set aside 2 days in September where you can do nothing but this holiday planning and prep? Or are you so bogged down that you just need to consider maybe hiring a marketing team or hiring an intern or somebody that can help you get through this short-term gap to where you want to be?
Oh, plus maybe it's not even that you're like, I don't have time for that, or I don't have the expertise or know how to do it. Maybe you just literally don't want to be responsible for that because you want to do the thing you love doing, which is why you started your business, right? That's okay too. But the point, Brooke, that you're making is like, it doesn't mean you shouldn't be prepared, and it doesn't mean you shouldn't find the resources that will help you fulfill this important business operation.
Yep, absolutely.
Mic drop.
Boom.
Boom. Okay, so we've got an idea of like high level what we need to be considering. What do we need to do this month? So for context, it's August right now, but it's assuming it's September and we're right on the brink of Q4. What does a small business owner need to do now?
Yeah. So, like we mentioned, plan your big promotions. Pick your 2 to 3 days that make the most sense for your business. So if you're a gym, you are probably going to be focusing on New Year's. And you're going to want to start running promotions in December around getting people to sign up to lose weight after the new year. You might develop a whole new program for it or get a certain coach on deck to host a special class. Like these are the types of things to think about. So pick your big promotional days. Maybe it's Small Business Saturday. Maybe you want to just pick a random day in the middle of December and say, the 10th, that's the anniversary of our business. We want to really push that. Like, just pick your two, max three things. And so we talk a lot about Alex Hormozy, and one of the things that he says is like, you don't actually need an occasion at all. It can be because it's Tuesday. It can be because you got a great night of sleep. It can be whatever, but just advance plan for it and do not stretch yourself too thin or overwhelm your audience by hitting them with like, here, now we're doing this thing. Now we're doing this thing. Now we're doing this thing. Like, focus, keep the main thing, and pick your 1 to 2 promotions for your 1 to 2 big promotional days, and then start planning accordingly. So that's really easy. Get that down on paper. And then from there, you can start outlining emails and social media posts. You can get a calendar, a content calendar going where you can drop in captions and email copy and things, and then start prepping your graphics and visuals to go along with that. So, also considering the eventual path to purchase. So, if that's going to be through your website, maybe you want to build out a custom landing page for this promotion. Maybe you want to consider ads to drive people to a particular thing. So, again, power of starting early. You can actually think through all these things. And then lastly, what you might want to do this month is clean up your existing email list. And we have a podcast episode coming out shortly about the process to reach out to your existing list to ensure people still want to be subscribed, in ways that you can weed people out of that list to make sure it is the most engaged list possible. And then you can warm them up. You can drop them some teasers. You can build excitement and anticipation within your list. Like, we can't wait to tell you what we've been working on. Look out for, the next announcement on this date. And again, advanced planning gives you the power to really think, let's do a 3 email drip campaign. First one goes out here, second one goes out here, third one goes out here. Here's exactly what we're going to say in each one. Man, experience.
In the words of Dwight Schrute, experience is the best teacher. So all of this insight comes from having been through it. And while it's maybe our first go around of doing it for our own business, we've seen in the course of our professional careers, time and time again, different businesses at different stages of being in business facing this stuff. So this comes from like, use this because this means you don't have to walk the steps that we did or our clients have. Like, you get the elevated experience based knowledge from us.
Yeah. So, Janae, with that in mind and the things that we've seen, what is sort of our big bad marketing tactical tips and advice? How do we help clients prep for the holidays, and what is our wisdom?
Yeah. Okay. Well, if you didn't hear us say this already several times in this episode, start now. Start right now, even if that's just jotting down some notes or looking at a calendar, right? This is the time to just do something and start thinking about it. And then you can do real examples of what works, like starting a spreadsheet and start building out the content now.
Yep. I think another thing is to look. So, if you are a more established business, look at your prior years. What were your lessons learned? Check the data. What were your biggest sellers? When were your biggest sales days? What should you start promoting? What should you stop promoting? And did you feel like you missed out on something last year? And If this is your first year doing this, obviously you're not going to have the data to support it, but you can look at consumer behavior. You can look at like businesses. You can ask other business owners in your industry, hey, how did last year go for you? Did you see a spike in sales or foot traffic on Small Business Saturday in this area that we're in? Like, use the wisdom of others, but always let data be your guide when you're coming up with your promotions and things, and look to it for wisdom. And what you can do to put yourself even more ahead for next year is at the end of this holiday season, create a Google Doc, jot down some notes, say, oh, I wish we had done XYZ. This went really well. And then drop that into a calendar invite for next September and say, okay, now I'm already setting myself up for success. And now we're probably just like blowing your minds with how far ahead we're
You
getting.
just blew
But
my mind.
that's the type of forward thinking that is going to make everything else so much easier for you later. And it doesn't take long.
No, it certainly doesn't have to. And I think part of what feels important for me here is this, like we are talking right now about Q4, but these principles are evergreen and they apply to all year long. This is a rolling basis. So if you're just like, I just cannot wrap my head around this for this year's Q4 stuff, that's fine. But think about your industry, think about like all of the data that you just mentioned, Brooke, right? Like, what are the seasonal, time dependent moments where you know there's going to be a big upsurge in your sales, or at least the possibility for one, and work backwards from there. So if your business, industry, service, product, whatever it is, like does really well for Mother's Day or for back to school time, right? That's fine. Apply all of these same principles to then. So don't start planning your back to school stuff on August 1st, right? Start that in May when the summer begins, right? Like bringing it back as much as you can so you are ready when the bell rings.
Boom. That was a good
Mic
pun there.
drop. Two mic drops, one episode.
Another thing we see companies doing is trying to sort of copy what a different, maybe larger retailer does without adapting it. So, holiday times, a lot of huge retailers roll out these big campaigns. Some of them are very funny, some of them are just, you can tell that a lot of time and effort went into them. But make your holiday promos and collateral and advertising, make it work for you, make it your own. Don't just try to copy paste some other retailer's messaging or promotion without making sure that it works for your business from an authenticity and brand voice standpoint, but also again from a math standpoint, because maybe Walmart can afford to run a three for the price of one special, but you can't. And that's okay.
Yeah. And I also see this like, I totally agree with everything you said. And I also see this from the opposite angle, which is you can look to them for inspiration and for, let's say, getting a sense of what the consumers are actually interested in and when and how those things might look and how to package them together. But that doesn't mean you should copy everything they did. So I love that one.
Yep. What
What else you
else?
got for us, Brooke? Anything else?
So the last thing, most important thing, especially because I come from a background in quality assurance, QA testing, be sure to test everything. Test and preview your emails, test and preview your checkout flows, your coupon codes. Everything that is going out has to be tested 100% of the way through so that you ensure the best possible customer experience. Because even if you have a fire promo that people are like, I cannot wait to get my hands on this product, if your checkout flow is messed up and they can't actually make the purchase, that's going to blow up in your face in a major way. And that is the last thing you want. So, again, starting early means you can very intentionally roll all this out and you have the time to test it and you don't just have to toss it over the fence, especially if you have a more complex website setup where you have to defer to a developer to do some of these things. Like, please, please, please test.
Another test. This is a
No,
test.
this is a test. Be sure you test.
Okay. Well, I hope everyone passes this test.
I'm sure everyone will because they have the time to pass the test.
Nailed it.
Boom.
Yeah, now you got a mic drop.
That was the mic
Uh,
dropping.
huh?
I said that was the mic dropping, the sound of the.
Oh, we do our own sound effects.
You do.
Okay, I have a rapid fire one question for you, which is what is your favorite holiday?
Thanksgiving.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah, no
Similar.
pressure. The whole point of Thanksgiving is to eat food and hang out with the people that you love the most. And I just cannot picture a more perfect opportunity to do that. Plus the dog show.
Oh,
Yeah,
yes. Love that.
yeah. How about you?
Uh, I wasn't prepared for that question, but
You
I
mean the
this
question
is
you asked,
the
you
one I
weren't
asked.
also
Yeah, I
prepared to
should be
answer?
prepared. Yeah. But
Weird.
um I do also quite like Thanksgiving, but I wanted to share that my experience is not so much that it's low pressure, although I realize it is, and it's usually like fam, and no one's that concerned about. Yeah, fam is whatever. Like everyone has different relationships with fam. I get that
Yeah,
sometimes it's very sticky. But I was gonna say last year we were like, we'll have Thanksgiving here, and we got all this stuff and we did all this cooking, and then it came time to literally sit down and eat and like plate the foods. And we hadn't thought about where are we going to sit down to eat the food. Like we needed a large table and chairs for everyone, and it just like totally slipped my mind in all the planning. So I mean, we made it work. We had like a folding table and stuff, and at the end of the day, like that's perfect. That's what this is all about. Like
yeah.
no pressure. But also I was just like, come on, Janae, you should do some advanced planning to think about all the things you're going to need for the holiday event.
Well, now you can because your brain is already on it in August. Look at that. Look at how that
Look at
works.
that. Look
Go
how
ahead
what
and
we
start
say
your
is relevant.
Thanksgiving Google Doc, Thanksgiving
Woo!
hosting Google Doc.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. If you like this episode, please go ahead and follow the Big Bad Marketing Podcast. Leave us a 5-star review and share it with your business best friends who haven't yet started their marketing plan and need to.
Boom. Thanks for listening, y'all.
Bye.